Another
Think
job.
you can get away?
Wings of darkness, come!
Rain outlines it. Witnessing power.
I will have order.
Think you can get away?
Riptide. This is order.
Hey guys, before we go any further, I wanted to announce that my 24-hour charity stream will take place on December 19th to 20th on Twitch. This year, I'll be raising money for United Way's COVID-19 Community Response and Recovery Fund. As you know, the pandemic has changed all of our lives drastically, regardless if we've been in contact with the virus or not. Especially in the US, there has been a spike in new cases recently. Just by showing up on December 19th to hang out on the stream, you're providing your direct support to the cause, even if you're not able to donate any money. In addition, all revenue from subs, bits, and ads will go directly to the cause itself. I'll also have a bunch of funny challenges you can look forward to if we reach certain milestones. As we approach the new year, let's leave the worst parts of 2020 in the past. It's time for us to heal. Together. Today we'll be covering the Geo Archon himself, Zhongli. I'll be going over all possible teams that feature him as both DPS and support. You can follow the timestamps if you already know how you're going to build him, or you can stick around to see which playstyle and comp resonates with you the most. Zhongli is a polearm user that has his abilities synergized with other Geo constructs to do AoE damage. His burst calls down a giant meatball from the sky to do massive AoE damage and petrify all enemies. The unique stat that he gets from Ascension is Geo damage bonus. We have to take his skill set into heavy consideration when we build a team around him. Let's talk about elemental reactions. In terms of elemental reactions, we have no elemental reactions because he carries the Geo element. Because of this, Geo focuses on raw power through white damage and hard-hitting, short cooldown abilities over synergizing with other elements. It's also worth to note that Archaic Petra gives you some synergy with other elements, giving elemental specific damage bonus that's great for any main DPS who has a lot of that in their damage profile. The more important topic to cover is elemental resonance, which is having redundant elements within a single party. For Zhongli, the most important resonance points are Fervent Flames and Enduring Rock. Fervent Flames gives you a flat 25% attack increase, which is great from what I mentioned earlier about raw power. Enduring Rock is likewise really strong since you only need to add one more Geo member for the 15% multiplier added to your attacks. Both of these are very strong, and based on the circumstances, you may even run both. Let's first look at all the team comps for DPS Zhongli. Support team comps will be later in the video if you want to jump ahead. I've gone ahead and labeled comps Abyss ready if I think that comp is something you can plug and play in Abyss. Again, because the Abyss has different enemies and buffs for each floor, I cannot advise you that these comps will work for all 12 floors. That's why I also have listed an Abyss core for each comp that you can build your team around based on the circumstances. Comp 1 features Zhongli, Geo MC, Xinyan, and Bennett. This comp is Abyss ready. This is my best in slot. I prefer Geo MC here because your construct lasts longer on the field than Ningguang, which helps with the resonating damage with Zhongli's construct. The lower cooldown on Geo MC also allows you to create a field of constructs that block off enemies and deal AoE damage. Xinyan and Bennett are my favorite pyro supports and give you access to Fervent Flames. Bennett gives you a healing safety net, but most of the time serves as an AD buffer. Xinyan is great at Ascension rank 4 because her shield adds 15% multiplicative physical damage bonus. I like her more than Xiangling here since her kit falls more in line with what Zhongli wants to do. Because you're running a Geo DPS, you're not focusing on elemental reactions. Rather, you're looking for raw damage with a flat attack buff from Pyro Resonance into a multiplying attack damage buff from Geo Resonance. There's no real combo sequence here for this team. It's all about positioning Zhongli and Geo MC's structures mindfully so that you get the most out of Zhongli's E Resonance. Make sure you take advantage of Geo MC's short cooldowns and spam when available. Bennett for healing if you ever need it in a pinch, and Xinyan for great shielding and buff. Make sure to take advantage of Bullet 4-piece set on Zhongli if available, since you should have a shield up for the majority of combat. The Abyss core for this comp is Zhongli, Bennett, and then you flex the last 2 spots. Comp 2 features Zhongli, Ningguang, Xinyan or Shangling or Amber, whatever is available, and then Bennett. This comp is Abyss ready. A little worse than above, but Ningguang gives you a Geo boost after going through her wall at Ascension rank 4. Zhongli is already a pretty single target DPS, which is redundant with Ningguang's damage profile, but double Geo is undoubtedly very strong. I don't like Noelle here that much because the shielding is redundant and Bennett provides a better healing ability. Again, play for your short cooldowns. Position Zhongli's construct near Ningguang's screen, and you should be able to have enough energy regen to get both their bursts online rather quickly. Pyro Resonance again, and play Xinyan and Bennett the exact same as comp 1. The Abyss core for this comp is again Zhongli, Bennett, and then flex the last 2 spots. Comp 3 features Zhongli, Fischl, Xingqiu, and then one of either Venti, Sucrose, or Jean. This comp is Abyss ready. I'm in love with how Xingqiu works with Zhongli DPS. If you guys haven't seen my other Zhongli video yet, there I talk about healing versus shielding and a change in team building philosophy. You can check that video out for a more in-depth explanation. Xingqiu has soft healing, which means healing that is not as reliable as your traditional healer. Because of Zhongli's strong shield, you can play off that combined with Xingqiu's damage resistance to barely lose any HP in combat. Xingqiu's ult also pairs nicely with Zhongli's basic attack being decently fast. Fischl is added here for a bit of Electro Charge in combination with Xingqiu Burst. I've been favoring Electro Charge ever since they fixed it in 1.1, since it doesn't force you to keep chasing after your enemies and lose precious time. I think Venti is actually pretty decent here and not redundant at all. Venti allows you to really clump all enemies together and deal with large mobs effectively. You follow up Venti's burst with your Zhongli meatball and then finish up the rest of the opponents with your Zhongli basics combined with Xingqiu's Q. Try it out before you hate on it, you may be surprised. The combo sequence for this comp is Venti Q into Fischl Q into Xingqiu E into Xingqiu Q into Zhongli Q, Zhongli E, and then you finish that up with Zhongli auto attacks. The Abyss core for this comp is Zhongli, Xingqiu, Fischl, and then you flex that last spot. Comp 4 features Zhongli, Geo MC, Fischl or Beidou, and then one of either Diona, Kaya, or Qiqi. I like Diona in this spot. This comp is Abyss ready. Pairing up the Zhongli Geo MC pair with Superconduct to help enable Zhongli's basic even more. Diona also provides a great shield that will help your Bullet 4-piece, Vortex Vanquisher, or Geo Resonance have more uptime. The playstyle is to equip your Zhongli with Crescent Pike and poke the opponents until they die. I don't like Lisa even with the defense debuff at Ascension rank 4 just because her E is too inconsistent and her burst requires a lot of energy. No combo sequence here, you just play for your timers. Make sure to micromanage your constructs with Geo MC and Zhongli and work in Superconduct procs every 8 to 9 seconds and basic attack away with Zhongli. The Abyss core for this comp is Zhongli, Fischl, Diona, and then you flex that last spot. Comp 5 is my free-to-play and features Zhongli, Geo MC, Fischl, and Kaya. This is my favorite free-to-play lineup. Similar to Comp 4, we're sticking with Superconduct and playing around Zhongli's basic attacks. I didn't necessarily mark this comp Abyss ready because you only have Zhongli's shield to fall back on since he's decently squishy. However, if you learn how to micromanage your shield's uptime, you can potentially run this lineup in the Abyss without any healers. Similar to Comp 4, play for your constructs and Superconduct uptime. Now let's look at my favorite teams for support Zhongli. In almost all the comps below, I have Zhongli slotted in as a burst support, with a bit of utility, since that's the role I think best suits him. Either 4-piece Petra, 4-piece Noblesse, or 2-piece of each of the artifact sets is what I recommend, depending on your full team comp. Comp 1 features Child, Fischl, Zhongli, and Venti. I love this combo. Run Archaic Petra on Zhongli, group enemies with Venti, unleash a huge child range burst, then follow up with Zhongli's burst to petrify all enemies, grab the Hydro Elemental Shield to give you Hydro damage boost, drop Oz, then swap over to Child for melee form. Zhongli's Petrify allows you to keep enemies in place altogether so that you get maximum value of Child's Riptide AoE damage. You can either use Fischl or Zhongli as your sub DPS when you run out of cooldowns with Child. Depending on how much your Jade Shield absorbs, this comp could potentially be fine without a healer. Especially against mobs, they shouldn't have any chance to attack you before you lock them up for an extended period of time and kill them all before they can do anything. The combo sequence for this comp goes Venti Q into Child Q in ranged form, Fischl Q, Zhongli Q, Zhongli E, Child auto attack, and if you have any of the opponents left over, you finish them off with Child Q in melee form. The Abyss core for this comp is Child, Zhongli, Venti, and then you flex that last spot. Comp 2 features Ningguang or Traveler, Zhongli, Xinyan, and Bennett. This comp is Abyss ready. Play Zhongli for burst support 100k plus crit AoE damage. Ningguang for consistent DPS and single target prowess. Ningguang's Wall at Ascension Rank 4 passive gives you a Geo bonus, and along with Bennett's AD buff, allows your Zhongli to nuke enemies with your ult. Zhongli also works well if you're playing Traveler as your main DPS. Xinyan with Bennett here with the exact same explanation from DPS Zhongli comps. No combo sequence except to layer Bennett ult your Ningguang screen so that your Zhongli burst can come down with the most AoE damage possible. The Abyss core for this comp is Ningguang, Zhongli, Bennett, and then you flex that last spot. Comp 3 features Razor, Fischl, Diona or Kaya, and Zhongli. This comp is Abyss ready. You can also run Chi-Chi instead of Diona or Kaya, depending on what you have. Razor was always missing a 4th member that works really well with him. Sucrose was always a filler to accommodate for some AoE damage. With Zhongli, Razor is even better than before. You still play him for white damage through super contact reactions. However, Zhongli provides a shield that gives you more durability and stays in your Razor ult longer. Zhongli's Petrify is amazing because it acts as a pseudo freeze without having to use 2 elements to trigger it. His burst allows you to keep big enemies in place that wouldn't usually be knocked up by animal abilities. This gives Razor the freedom to hit enemies in place and even deal some passive AoE damage from the Great Sword's cleave. Zhongli can also be played as a burst support to help chunk and eviscerate mobs, which Razor usually has a tough time clearing fast. Play Razor the same way as you have always, with your super contact cooldowns and getting your ult up as fast as possible. Zhongli will provide you with shielding and set up a giant ult so that Razor can tear through the enemies. The Abyss core for this comp is Razor, Diona, Zhongli, and then you flex the last spot. Comp 4 features Diluc or Klee, Mona, Zhongli, and Venti. This is the all-powerful whale comp, featuring 4 or 5 stars in a single party. Diluc or Klee, Mona, and Venti are fantastic together already, and taking Bennett's usual spot is Zhongli for some more added utility and access to the Archaic Petra set. Because you have so much hard crowd control, the mobs will never get a chance to play the game as you destroy them all. I don't have this that high up because I know a lot of you guys may not have access to a comp like this, but for those that do, assemble this super team and you will not be disappointed. It's a lot of fun to play because it's very combo oriented and flashy. Same case as in Comp 3, if your Zhongli doesn't provide a strong enough shield, you may need to replace him for some healing in Abyss. The combo sequence for this comp goes Diluc E into Venti Q, into Mona Q for a huge Vaporize, then into a Zhongli Q, a Zhongli E, a Mona E, a Venti E, and finishing that up with a Diluc Q. The Abyss core for this comp is Diluc, Mona, Venti, and then you flex the last spot. Comp 5 is my free-to-play and features Geo MC, Zhongli, Xiangling, and Amber. I like this comp as my free-to-play. We've officially gotten full circle. double Geo and double Pyro focusing on raw damage with Geo MC basic attacks and synergizing the constructs together. Again, bringing this in Abyss is dependent on if your Zhongli's shielding is enough to forego healing. No combo sequence, just play off your constructs to funnel enemies and drop Shangling and Amber abilities for max damage. I've listed all the characters I didn't mention with their reasoning. If you want to find out why I didn't include a certain character in the team comp, make sure to pause the video and give it a read. Thank you for checking out episode 8 of my team build series. I'd really like to hear from you guys as to what your favorite team is so far. Comment down below with your current party setup. I'd love to check all of them out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. Your support goes a long way in helping me put out quality Genshin Impact content every week. Also, check out some of my other Genshin Impact videos if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Till next time.